The night wrapped the quiet house in heavy darkness, while everyone slept unaware that something unseen had awakened, slowly moving through halls, listening patiently to every breath taken inside. A single lamp glowed dimly beside the bed, casting long shadows that stretched across the walls, making familiar objects appear strange and unfamiliar, as if the room itself had changed. Outside, the wind whispered through trees, tapping gently against windows, creating soft rhythms that blended with distant sounds, making it impossible to know which noises belonged to night. The clock on the wall ticked steadily, marking time with calm confidence, yet every second felt louder, deeper, heavier, pressing against the silence like a warning no one understood. Sleep hovered near, but never fully arrived, leaving the mind drifting between dreams and awareness, where every sound felt amplified and every shadow seemed alive. A faint creak traveled through the hallway, slow and deliberate, as if footsteps moved carefully, avoiding attention while testing the floor with cautious weight. The air grew colder, without reason, raising small chills across skin, while breath became visible, faintly glowing in the dim light despite windows being tightly closed. The bed shifted slightly, as though responding to pressure, though no movement was made, leaving the heart racing faster with confusion and quiet growing fear. Eyes remained closed, hoping the sensation would fade, believing imagination played tricks, yet deep inside, a warning stirred, refusing to be ignored. From the corner of the room, a shadow deepened, gathering shape without form, slowly stretching upward against the wall, like ink. Spreading through water, breathing slowed, intentionally attempting calm, while ears strained, listening for proof of safety though. Every second brought new subtle sounds, closer than before. A low hum filled the room, vibrating softly through walls and floor, not loud enough to identify, yet powerful enough to unsettle the mind. The hum stopped abruptly, leaving silence so complete it felt heavier than noise, causing tension to tighten through muscles waiting for something else. The door shifted slightly, opening only enough to reveal deeper darkness beyond, as though the hallway itself leaned forward, watching patiently. Cold air flowed inward, carrying a scent of dust and age, suggesting places long forgotten had opened and were now breathing again. The bed creaked softly, responding to unseen movement nearby, though no footsteps followed, creating uncertainty that felt worse than danger. A whisper brushed against the edge of hearing, forming no words yet clearly intentional, as if testing whether attention had been captured. Fear grew quietly, remaining controlled, while thoughts raced, searching for rational explanations that refused to settle into comfort. The shadow near the wall shifted again, stretching longer, thinner, closer, like a living thing, guided by curiosity. Time felt distorted, stretching moments endlessly, making it impossible to know whether seconds or minutes passed since sleep was lost. The clock face dimmed slightly, then brightened again, as if reacting to something unseen. Moving through the room, the whisper returned, closer now, carrying breath that felt cold and unfamiliar, brushing against skin without touch. Heartbeats echoed loudly in ears, threatening to reveal wakefulness to whatever lingered nearby. Stillness was chosen as protection, believing movement would invite attention, though fear demanded escape. The shadow leaned inward, growing darker as the light seemed unable to reach it, leaving a shape that absorbed brightness. Completely, a soft sigh came from near the bed, not human, not mechanical, but heavy with age and patience. The room felt smaller, walls closing inward slowly, as if space itself responded to the presence. Sleep attempted to reclaim control, pulling the mind toward dreams, while fear resisted, clinging tightly to awareness. Images formed behind closed eyes, blending nightmare and memory until it became impossible to tell what was real. In the dream, the house shifted corridors, bending and stretching, creating endless hallways filled with doors that led nowhere. Footsteps echoed behind, always distant, yet constant, following at the same pace, never gaining, never falling back. Turning to look revealed only darkness that felt aware, watching, waiting, without urgency. The whisper guided forward, urging movement, though no direction felt safe or familiar. The air thickened, making breathing difficult, as if the dream resisted escape, pressing inward from all sides. Running felt slow, heavy, restrained by invisible weight, pulling downward with each step. A sudden cold grip seized the ankle, freezing motion instantly as fear surged, overwhelming every thought. The grip vanished as quickly as it appeared, causing the dream to collapse violently into darkness. Eyes opened suddenly to the bedroom, where the lamp still glowed and the clock continued ticking calmly. The room appeared unchanged, yet something lingered in the air, leaving unease that refused to fade. Breathing steadied gradually, though. Hands trembled slightly, betraying lingering fear. Outside, a distant animal cried, breaking the silence briefly, before darkness reclaimed control. A shape crossed the window, briefly blocking moonlight, though nothing remained afterward. The glass reflected the room, and within it, a faint smile appeared, hovering where no face existed. The smile remained perfectly still, watching patiently, without blinking or fading. Blinking repeatedly did nothing to change the reflection, as the smile stayed fixed. A breath fogged the glass from inside, though no one moved closer. The whisper returned softly, telling nothing and everything at once, filling the mind with dread. The blanket lifted slightly, settling back as if something passed beneath unnoticed. The bed sank briefly, then returned to normal, leaving no evidence behind. The smile slowly faded from the glass, dissolving into darkness like mist. Light slowly returned to the window as clouds drifted away, revealing moonlight again. The room felt calmer, yet trust was broken, leaving awareness sharpened painfully. Faraway birds began stirring, hinting at approaching morning. The house seemed to relax, releasing tension held throughout the night. Fear loosened slightly, though exhaustion pressed heavily. Demanding rest, sleep returned cautiously, bringing lighter dreams without depth. Shadows retreated into corners, becoming ordinary once more. The clock continued faithfully guarding time. Without judgment, the night slowly surrendered to approaching dawn. Morning light hinted softly, touching the edges of darkness. The house stood quiet, remembering everything that occurred. Sleep finally claimed its victory over fear. Breathing deepened, steady and calm dreams softened, losing their sharp edges. Outside life prepared to begin again. The night withdrew, but did not disappear. Something remained, waiting patiently. Another night would return. Eventually, the house would remember, and so would the sleeper.